Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair. A typical power play. Wait for him to speak first. Show him you've got a backbone. The one good eye of this man fills you up without even flickering. The other, his lazy eye, grotesquely magnified by his +6 glasses. For a moment, you don't know where to look. It is unbearably humid in the trailer. Beads of sweat slide, yet he's unperturbed, holding his own. At first, nothing happens. His face wears a wide and self-satisfied. Like a general over his maps, he plots his moves. Judging by the way he's...
So... Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi, how nice that you found a moment to pay a visit to the Debardairs Union. I'm Everard Clare, head of this little operation here. Please, have a seat.
The folding chair looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a...
He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is, should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But
don't give up, but don't leave either. You're going to have this conversation on your terms. Everard starts whistling a little worker song. He really is. The lieutenant stands right next.
I see you are an extremely stubborn man, Mr. Dubois. That ain't necessarily a bad thing.
You did it. This might help against whatever comes.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debardairs Union help a representative of the... Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your difference.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is. Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than... Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people...
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear... The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Officer, we will deal with this later.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children.
Mr. Dubois.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to put?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
While Everard is distracted by your odd behavior, the lieutenant's eyes are mapping.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself... It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost...
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend.
And gets over it in 2 seconds.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again.
Thank you for your understanding. We will...
You too, Lieutenant. You know...
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you?
I think the odds of that are very low.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is, I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of...
Don't trust him. For all you know, Dubois might be here.
I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably...
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Asking too many questions will make you look weak. You should maybe focus on the folder.
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You feel like a Dubois. You don't feel like any of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful man.
And I can work with you, Harry. Now, family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you... Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Yes, you seem to be, a lot of the time, but right now there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. This? My friends in your...
I find that very...
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
I find...
I'm afraid this is meant for Union... Well, Harry, will you sure come off as very confident in family? Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little ball. Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry, would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing. But the Union did not get where we are anyway. I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request...
You might have noticed there's one hang...
Oh my. Don't take this question...
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel ring. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate. But of course, all joking aside, Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body. You can find Luke down at the gates. But you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you. Now that he's... Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning... Your gun will be found, Harry.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
He is not.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to... But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just...
Yes, that sounds good.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at open... And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up.
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary
You want to send someone a message that the...
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore... Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one... Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can just... Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Fantastic, my friend. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her, because you and I are such good friends, and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. And with finding your lost gun. I'm not a...
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspicious.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about...
Okay then, positive emotions it is. You like
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
It's hard to say if he really lost his temper, or if this is another one of his tricks.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over. If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your...
This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course. My dear Harry. There are literally millions of containers in this harbor. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I...
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container.
My dear Harry, I rarely do, Harry. Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. The drawer slides.
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Your dead guy he was an agent of the opposition, attempting to... I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He means a more violent faction could easily take care of such a thing.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search. The little boy had the good on his to get me into trouble. To seek...
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union...
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few... So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then.
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves.
And Mesquite is epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Of course, I got you. You don't know any. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my distance too. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the wailing in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff.
Who he is? Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but they're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law, to some neighbor?
Why not? Must be nice being something else for a change. We're negotiating. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. You fight for every piece. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the No. I don't think I'm a communist. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. Then how can anything ever be mine? But that's okay. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've made it. In my eyes, I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees...
By that, you...
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a... The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt... Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway.
Not you would like to say. But then there's that weasel door.
Sure. I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's all...
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's that of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your... The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly.
Went native on the chief, huh? Those
Wrong. You did the right thing with...
Let's talk about our right to work. What's it to you? Am I a suspect? Done no crimes. I only...
The man has turned his attention.
What's it to you? No. Don't think we've met. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Worked at Territorial. Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really... wow. I didn't know you worked for the Union, sir. Anything else?
Blow the whole thing on speed and gin. Right now. Speed and... The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfied... Do you know what you should do with that money? Damn, that felt good. No, you shouldn't. You're an officer of the law.
Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to...
That means you should do it whenever you feel like someone's That's the spirit. Never forget. The whole...
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
How could anyone forget, asshole?
You're already set for the night. Your door is...
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
You know...
Of course, officers. Of course.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good... No. That's all the snitching, Cindy. I have a weakness for animals.
Or a weakness for police officers, miss. Thank you either way.
Vigilance officer? What can this old carabinier do for you? Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. It's a private matter.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business.
It's his heart.
No one. The boss has been on months.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer, the container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words. Oh, I didn't mean to imply there's something wrong with that.
Yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost?
He is not going to become an entrepreneur.
She is nobody.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes. Like I said, I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Officer, the miss. Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the.
Do not defile her memory.
His tone lacks its usual intensity, like he doesn't feel.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street. She was René's first girl back when the prick was 16. They were courting.
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly.
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been...
We were just boys then. No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the...
She died of pneumonia 2 winters. René and I were both by her bedside when she...
Died. No use sugar.
Departed. Until the very hand she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman...
A quick grimace of pain passes over René's features. but he immediately regains control. His face now a dispassionate mask again.
She could never make up her mind about anything. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually... Heck, technically,
You always confused there. Couldn't let us be happy.
He suddenly remembers you are still...
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left. Sure, officer. No.
Fuck does Kuno care? So?
You should thank him.
Fuck? Okay.
Kuno sent your fat ass!
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Good idea.
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. After this shit, you better have something real in...
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno doesn't...
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material. An inconspicuous... An inconspicuous pile, because it's... An inconspicuous pile, because... An inconspicuous pile of the roof, because...
What do you want to know? What's there to say? It's just stupid. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to put... I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
No. I agree. Was there anything else you wanted to ask about the competition? Yes. I'm an unrepentant spoilsport. Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps. Feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the...
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget.
He's actually glad it's addressed now. Tremble. The time isn't time for the show. For Taola, the hallowed time. Ulogu Theodos. Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality, are the first crack in the sheer face of God. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even word. It's totally also a... So you should be. The world I... Perhaps. Just a thought. This has something to do with the hangover. The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. You see a heavy steel door with the door is closed.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off?
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic. Our personal dynamic has changed.
He means very little.
Don't be vulgar.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Jam, individualism, offshoots of the Seminese people. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many. I can see that. The Seminese we are the future. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulumbuir are with me in my No.
He would be appreciative if you did not further.
I'm from Couronne. And no, you have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today.
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one. They're always...
Race is reality. Racists are generally not very... I am not like them. I am...
True. That is a noble cranium. But you got a hard noggin yourself.
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw. It is impossible to see any more of your own. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same.
He's right there. It's almost impossible to get it on.
I am not the first line of defense. The hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. So it was. You bested me in race combat to...
You're so nut.
But while I am gone, someone must stand.
That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the unions.
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking...
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. Yes, that is precisely what it means, homunculus. This is not going to happen. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Look at him. He's crazy. Cool. I like men with guns and power.
You hear that? That sound? He's breaking.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I...
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like...
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across mud. The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. And what you had to do was to become a union man for all to see.